Last night, Tottenham Hotspur drew 2-2 away at Bodø Glimt in the Champions League. On paper, it's a decent result. Away in Europe, hostile atmosphere, obviously their first Champions League game in their history, and Spurs fight back. But for a lot of the fans, the draw just feels like yet another underwhelming performance in what's becoming a concerning run of games now. And we're going to have to discuss this at all, break down all the key moments, the stats behind it, and then take a step back and answer the big question. Are Spurs actually improving or are we regressing? Let's get into it. Now, first off, Spurs struggled to settle in. Bodo looks sharp. Of course, we know about the turf that the pitch was on, but we played there only 4 months ago. They were pressing us high, forcing mistakes, and obviously they got their reward because they managed to win a penalty. Fortunately for Tottenham, that penalty got blazed way over the bar and saved us. But we struggled to get any rhythm. We were so flat and we couldn't do anything. Of course, there was one chance very early on in the game that dropped to Richarlison, which he should have done better. I don't know what was happened. Maybe you can't not be expecting the ball when one of your players is out ready to cross. So that's poor from him, I think. Should be scoring. That makes it 1-0, and that changes the complex of the game completely. But once again, the striker department's just letting us down. Second half, things didn't improve much early on. Another defensive lapse. It was 1-0. It was a good finish, though, to be fair, but the defending should be better. Then it was 2-0. Oh, no, sorry. We got a disallowed goal, to be fair, ruled out right correctly, in my opinion. Then it was 2-0. And then we were really backpedaling. So I feel like if you look at it like that, it's a positive performance within a negative. It's a positive thing within a negative performance. Does that make sense? They always say about the best teams don't lose games. Like obviously, instead of losing, you draw. But of course, we played very bad. So I really don't know. You guys, let me know what you think. But yeah, of course, obviously flying to the end as well. Brought it back to 2-2, 89th minute. But it was just the things within it. So the first goal, as I said, poor defense in tracking. It was too easy for a team like Bodø Glimt as well. Like, obviously, with all due respect to Bodø Glimt, Spurs are meant to be better than them. So once we're going up against better opposition, they're going to take more liberties with that. And Spurs need to come up on that. The second goal, again, another example of Spurs being slow to the ball, to react in dangerous areas. Like we saw that with the goal against Wolves. People don't react quick enough. Obviously, the missed penalty was a let off. Disallowed goal could have changed things. I mean, maybe on another day they don't look at it because it's second place, but my personal opinion, it was a penalty. Obviously, to get the goals and yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I really don't know. I just think defensively we look so vulnerable. There's too many moments where the back line feels stretched and the midfield protection was just missing. And I think without João Paulinho, we do miss that. And that's the problem, I think. So Thomas Frank's either got this thing where he plays João Paulinho or Bentancur, or he doesn't play João Paulinho and he'll just play like a Bentancur and like a Bergwijn in there. Do you know what I mean? And I think did Pap Sal start yesterday? I can't actually remember. So let me just double check that because yeah, Pap Sal. Yeah, and then it's just once again, I feel like you could just play with Paulinho in there and then two attacking, so a Bofal and a Xavi Simmons. Yes, of course, I know it could leave you exposed, but you might as well try it. But Thomas Frank either goes from one extreme to the other, and he no one extreme to a different extreme. He doesn't even go to the other way because he doesn't go ultra attacking. He either goes defensive or still a bit defensive, and that's the thing we need to change. Yeah, creativity is just so inconsistent, and then once again, I think that's all down to the midfield because we're more set up for a midfield that's running and defending. And of course, I guess it's because he doesn't want to lose games, but I think we're just going to have to try and push it. Um, struggling to get Xavi Simmons into his best position as well. Like it's just everything, man. Honestly, but on the other side, the resilience because go into the final whistle and getting goals. That's 2 games in a row we've had late goals. Of course, Doncaster, we absolutely smoked them. And then, not absolutely smoked, it was 3-0, but you know what I mean. Um, and a late goal at Brighton as well. So is it a mentality thing that's starting to improve? I'm not sure. Um, I've actually been looking at other metrics, but like Spurs are overperforming our XG. So obviously, I know people might not like that, but basically we're scoring more goals than we should be doing on paper, which is also a bigger issue because that means we're not creating the best of chances. Um, so that's got to improve. Defensively, of course, we're a lot better this season. We've kept more clean sheets, but if you're only conceding 1 goal and you're not really creating the chances, that's what's going to be your issues against the better teams. Of course, with better defenses, they'll just be able to shut us out, and then we won't be able to score, which will be an issue. We saw against Bournemouth exactly that. Um, but I don't know. I really don't know. Of course, you can't even say the solid defensive foundations because we conceded 2 goals. But I guess, of course, the captain's not playing. Kevin Danzo's still a decent defender, but of course, he's not Christian Romero. Um, So that makes a factor. The goalkeeper as well. I think there's got to be a few questions about the goalkeeper. I love Vicario personally with all the energy and how much you can tell he loves Spurs. But I don't know. It's just one of them ones. I think if we want to go to the top, of course, which we've never been to before, players like Vicario probably won't be there. I'd love to have him as a second choice goalkeeper, but you need someone that you can improve on. So that's probably a question that's gonna have to come into it at some stage. But I don't know, guys. Please let me know. Are you guys worried? Like, here's the perspective. We're still in the Champions League. Obviously, it's a long group stage. I say we're still in it. You don't just go out straight away, but it's a long group stage. We're still undefeated in the group stage. The team show resilience as well to come back from 2 goals. We've done it in a few games as well, so there's a lot of evidence of us doing that. Is that a thing? Obviously, the underlying metrics and stuff. I don't know. That is the worrying bit because obviously, but stats can show you good things and bad things. So I feel like they can be manipulated, and sometimes football is literally about margins. Like if you go back and watch that, if Richarlison scores that goal in the first 3 to 5 minutes, whatever it was, the game is completely different. We're 1-0 up. It changes it, and they're the fine margins that you have to change. Even the VAR decisions, sometimes they don't get called. So I don't know. Of course, we're still in Thomas Frank arguably could be coming out of the honeymoon phase, and the fact that we're not losing games, that if we look at this as well, Thomas Frank football is a Nissan Micra, like your nan's Nissan Micra from 1995. That is just old, got about 150 miles on a dial as well. Um, Barely gets out of gear too. Oh, you got the fresh Lamborghini Urus that you've just been given for a day or for a gift or something. Like that's what Ange Postecoglou football was. So that's a big difference in between. So we're used to absolutely madness. Like, of course, it could be bad and could be good, but Ange Postecoglou's football was madness. And then we're going to this slow tempo. Like it's going to take us some time to adjust. Of course, I know towards the back of Ange's tenure, it wasn't as free flowing and stuff, but we were still in some interesting games, barring the final because that was absolutely horrendous. But yeah, I don't know. See, do we give Tom? Obviously, I'm giving Thomas Frank. Like, I see some people are Frank out already, which is crazy. But I think we got to give him some time. Let's be honest, guys. It's gonna take a couple transfer windows as well. And I know no one wants to be realistic about it, but let's be honest. If we want to go and win the league, we've got a long way to go. So after one summer, you can't be complaining about this gaffer in a couple weeks as well. He's not even halfway through the season yet. So can we really be getting that annoyed? But I don't know. Am I being a bit too positive? Like, is these worrying signs? That's why I want you people to know, because of course, to let me know, sorry, because of course, not everyone's got the same opinions, innit? And that's why we love things. So I don't know. Honestly, I really don't know. Please let me know in the comments, because still undefeated in the Champions League. What we fourth, fifth in the Premier League. Like, it's not the worst start. Of course, we go away to Leeds, which is just before the international break as well. So watch this space if we don't go and win that crazy atmosphere game as well. 12:30 kickoff. It's just got craziness written all over it. But we will preview that as well. Let me know in the comments. Of course, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please like, comment, all of that. We'll be back. Peace and love.